Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1991 Nissan Skyline GTS25 Type S R32. A normal rear-wheel drive Skyline. Yes, these exist. They're not all all-wheel drive. Some of them are rear-wheel drive and this one is that. And this one is pretty normal. 323 horsepower, 1,121 kilos. Interesting to see how this gets along. It is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Ford GT90. A 28.180, this Skyline is unlikely to beat that. This Skyline, I don't really know. I mean, we've got a Silvia S14, 31.848. I'm hoping this is quicker than the Silvia. I'm hoping the rear-wheel drive Skylines are quicker than the Silvia. But it remains to be seen. They are heavier. I mean, 300 ZXs, 31.650, I think, was a naturally aspirated one of those. So, somewhere around there. I will say, as much as, you know, obviously we do prefer our Skylines 4-wheel drive and GTR or whatever, I do quite like the clean styling of these more normal R32. I think it shares that with the GTS4 as well, this sort of more aerodynamic bonnet, which I quite like. I mean, I'm saying I prefer my Skyline 4-wheel drive and all that. I really prefer my Skylines in 4-door saloon and as normal as possible, just because I think that really throws the perception off that most people have over these things, because, you know, they're not all fire-breathing sports car monsters. The Skyline was just a normal car, really. I mean, it's like the equivalent of a Japanese Ford Mondeo, really. I mean, I don't even think that's that far off the truth, you know. Reasonably peppy engines, you know, a little bit of sporting pedigree and a good nameplate and stuff, but that's quick. 31.005, that's quick. Wow. Alright. I perhaps underestimated these things. That is actually really not far off of a twin-turbo Supra. Now, the reason I'm going to put to you that that has happened is because this is an extraordinary handling car. Honestly, this feels 4-wheel drive. It doesn't even feel like it's rear-wheel drive. I am getting virtually no rear slippage whatsoever. Of course, now I say I am. But this just feels so planted, especially like I drove that Del Sol last time out. This feels like it has more traction than that Del Sol did. Now, admittedly, it's got half the power the Del Sol has, but still. For a naturally aspirated rear-wheel drive car, and again, I mean, statistically, it's not even that impressive. It does way less than the Fairlady Z, but still. This drives really nicely. Can we go any quicker? That's the question. Some may call it $1 million one. I will call it about a second. I don't know. What do I earn from ad revenue on these videos? Probably not a lot. No, we're not going to go any quicker. But we don't really need to. 31.005, and I mean, other than when I crashed, it was pretty consistent in all lap times. That's good. That's really, really good, actually. I'm happy that the Skyline did as well as it did. To be honest with you, with how nice that drove, it wouldn't surprise me if some of the more unruly, you know, GTRs with major power that just can't keep the traction under control. It wouldn't surprise me if it might be quicker than some of those, potentially. But, yeah, wow. 31.005 puts it into 59th place. It goes between a Toyota Supra and a Honda NSX, but for both of those cars, unfortunately, it's not the Skyline they'd really want to be between them. Marginally quicker than the CLK 200 Sport. It actually just misses out only by a fraction on the quickest 300 ZX we've had. Which is a 39.962. Yeah, slower than a 200 SX by about 0.1, 0.2 of a second, but to be expected because that makes more power. It's good. It's really good. I like that. Good car. Good car. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.